Hey guys, how you all doing today? So I'm back with another lick lesson. This time I am breaking down the Allan Holdsworth lick in the song Devil Take the Hindmost. Absolute beast of a lick. Had fun doing this one. So I'm going to be breaking it down and showing you guys the way I think he maybe thinks in it. I know he's a bit of an alien and from another planet himself, so maybe if I get 1% of his thinking or his playing, you know, even, I'll be hopefully doing him some justice. But yeah, if you don't know Holdsworth, go and check him out. Absolutely unique individual, and I don't think we'll ever find another Holdsworth in our lifetime anyway. So breaking down his stuff is always fun. Now before I show you the lick, please, if you do like what I do, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, write a comment as well. Happy to answer any questions you have, or just have a general chit chat if you want to ask any questions or want to know any things that you're struggling with. So the lick I played at the start at full speed. It's at 160 BPM. Now, before I break down the lick for you, let me play it at half speed at 80 BPM, just so you can absorb it a bit more. Okay, so that was the lick a bit slower. It is a tough lick, guys, so really do take your time with it. It's a bit fiddly, but it gets you into kind of his mindset of what he's thinking as well and how he is phrasing. So the lick is over a G minor 7 chord, okay? So it's in G minor, but again, like Holdsworth, he's not really just sticking diatonically. There is a lot of outside notes and chromaticism going on. So without any more spiel, I'm going to try and do this lick and show you as quickly as I can, and because it could be half an hour long if we wanted to, but I'm going to try and get it done ASAP. Wind it back, wind it forward, or fast forward I should say, and just slow it down when you need to. So the lick starts on the 13th fret on the high E string. It's a 10-note phrase to begin with, guys, here, so it's a bit of a weird one. So we've got 13 pull off the 10 on the high E. So it's the third finger to the first finger. So that's 13, 10, 12, 13, then pull off back to 12 and then back to 10. And then I hit the 14th fret on the B string, which is your flat 5 if you're looking against the G. So we have, then on the high E string, 12, then 11 on the high E, and then back to the 14 on the B string. So we already have some chromaticism in there. So it's a 10-note phrase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then he moves on to the next section, which is again a 10-note phrase. Now this is a really cool part. Okay, now what he does here starts with the middle finger on the 12th fret. He's hitting 12, pulling off to 11 on the B string, sliding down to 10 on the B string. Hammer on to 11 on the B string, and then he's going to hit 10 on the high E string. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he's going to hit 10 on the B string, hammer onto 13 with third finger on the B, hammer onto 14th fret on the B. So, and then we have the 11th fret B and then 11th fret G. Now that's quite tricky, guys, because you're barring that 11th fret there, but we don't want this sound where the notes are ringing out. So see if you can kind of pivot on that first finger. It's kind of okay at a slower tempo, but when it's at 160 like the lick, it's really tricky to get that kind of clean. So far we have. So I'm just going to be breaking down that the first two parts, but I'll put a tiny bit of a break so you can hear where each 10-note sequence starts and ends. Now, the next part, I should say the third part, he repeats what he did on the second part, just on a different string. Now, Holdsworth did this a lot to get his kind of outside sounds. He would play something, play the same thing, but maybe move it about, maybe move it up a fret, maybe move it on a different string set. It just gives you a bit of an outside sound. So this is what we have. So what he did is, for what he played on the B string, he also does the same on the D string. So he hits 12 on the D and plays exactly the same frets, okay? Really nice kind of outside sound over that G minor 7. So altogether, I'll break it up again into 10 note stages. Put that together. Okay, really cool. He then wants to carry on that pattern, and he starts on the low E string on the 12 again. So it's like he's going to start that pattern again, but then runs out of strings, really. So okay, that's what we have so far. So I'll go from that B string kind of section where he repeats. Okay, now that bit I would say is the hardest to get clean in the lick, guys. Okay, so really try and isolate that part as much as you can. Okay, so after this part, he goes on this ascending kind of run, and it's chromatic. Okay, so it's kind of the same pattern going up, but it changes on that last G to the B string kind of sequence. So we have on the A string, 10 hammer onto 13 on the A. Okay, so this is your G to your B flat note. So you could look at that as the 1 to the flat 3. Pull back off to the 10, hammer onto 11 with the middle finger, and then hammer onto the third with the third finger on the 12th fret. So it's just a simple chromatic line there, to be honest. Then talking about that like kind of shape shifting, playing the same thing but moving up, it's exactly what he does. He goes to the D string, plays the same thing but moves it up a fret as well. So that's starting from the 11, hammering onto 14 on the D, pulling back off to 11, hammering onto 12 and then 13 on the D. Does the same thing, guys. Goes to the G string on 12 now. Slightly changes the notes and hits the 12 on the G string, 12 on the B, and then hammers on to 15 on the B. So, and then back to pull off back to 12 on the B. And then hammers on to 13 and 14 on the B. So we have, oh, see, that's what we don't want. When it's slow, it's hard to do it, but we don't want that ringing out. Okay, we want it to be, so it's all individual note. We don't want any bar chord kind of cluster notes happening. So all together. Okay, this last section. So we're really at the end of the lick here. He is on the 13th fret on the high E, hammers to 16th fret on the high E, pulls off, 13 to 16, slides up to 18th fret on the high E string. Then he pulls off up this kind of like minor major 7, okay, B minor major 7 arpeggio, which I'll explain why I think what he's doing in a minute, but he goes. So again, that last little section, guys, goes 13 on the high E, hammer to 16, slide to 18, pull off back to 14 on the high E, 15 on the B, 16 on the G. So it's, now what I think he's doing, because I think it's important to understand, if you, especially if you're playing Holdsworth stuff, trying to get into his head can be quite challenging. So what he's doing is a B minor major 7 arpeggio here to get that outside sound. So if we look at it against the G, what have you got? You've got a flat 3 of G, you've got a major 7 of G, so it's kind of implying like a melodic minor sound. The 5th of G, and then kind of like the 3rd of G, or you could look at it as like a sharp 9 of G, I guess, the minor. So yeah, it's kind of creating an outside sound. But against the B would be a major 7, 5, flat 3, and then 1. So 1, flat 3, 5, major 7. So what's cool to remember, say if you've, in this case, you've got a G minor 7, if you take the major 3rd of the G, a B, in this case, is a B note, and you play a minor major 7 arpeggio, you get a really nice outside sound to it. Again, let me just change key quickly, just for the sake of the context. If I'm playing an A minor 7, and I take the major 3rd of A, which is your C sharp, play a C sharp minor major 7 arpeggio over the A minor 7, you get a really nice outside kind of sound, okay? So this is what I think he's implying. Here also you could think of it, he's playing the 3rd of F sharp, so he's playing incorporating the 5 chord of B minor, so it's the 5 of your 1, okay? Without looking at it too heavy anyway, that's just me looking at it the way I would see it, so. And then he's resolving it to that B minor again. So, the lick, 13, 16 on the high E string, slide to 18 on the high E, pull off to the 14th fret on that high E, then hitting that 15th fret on the B string, 16th fret on the G, then hitting your major 3rd of the F sharp there, which I think is implying that 5 chord of the B minor, okay, which is the 15th fret G string. And then he's hitting the 14th fret on the B string, hammer to the 17th fret of the B string, back to the 14th fret on the B string, and then landing on that 15th fret B string. So all together. Okay. So all together from the start. To finish off, he kind of goes back into the G here, so he's hitting the 6th of G, so hitting the 17th fret on the B string, 18th fret on the B string, 15th fret on the high E, 17th fret on the high E, so it's so 17 on the high E, 17 on the B, 17 on the G, finishes on the 19th fret on the G string. So all together, I'll go from that chromatic run up, okay? Okay, so the lick from the top. Have a go with that, guys. Really isolate each part, take your time with it. That's my best advice I can give you on this. It's a really tricky one, okay? So really do take your time. Let me know how you get on. Try, and I'm really good at, I think, practice for me was to just play along with the track, and on, you know, where you can use the playback slider on YouTube, try and slow it down. Try and start at 0.5, then build up to 0.6, 0.7, 0.75, etc. until you can make it up to normal speed. Otherwise, practice with the metronome to get it super tight. Yeah, let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you would like more lessons like this. Please write a comment, and I will see you at the next one. Cheers, guys.